Hello everyone, welcome to Management Accounting class. Today we are going to learn about the second group of classification of ratios, that is solvency ratios or leverage ratios. Okay, now what do you mean by these solvency ratios? Solvency ratios are used in analyzing long-term solvency of a firm. That is, these ratios are used to measure the long-term financial position as a test of solvency of an organization. That is, how well the firm is able to repay their long-term liabilities that can be found out with the help of solvency ratios. And also, these ratios indicate the pattern of financing, that is, whether long-term requirements have been met out long-term funds or not. Okay, the important ratios used for analyzing of long-term solvency of a firm are: first one is debt equity ratio, second one proprietary ratio, third one capital gearing ratio. Okay, so these ratios are there for your syllabus. Other than these three ratios, we have equity to fixed asset ratio, equity to current ratio, current liabilities to shareholders fund ratios. Okay, but we will be studying only these three important ratios. That is, first one is debt equity ratio, second one proprietary ratio, and the third one is capital gearing ratio. And with the help of these three ratios, we can easily identify or test the solvency position of a business organization. Okay, now let us understand one by one these ratios. First one is debt equity ratio. This ratio indicates the relationship between borrowed funds and owners' funds. It is determined to measure the firm's debt in the business. Debt equity ratio is also called as external and internal equity ratio. Following is the formula to calculate debt equity ratio. Okay, debt equity ratio is equal to long-term debt, that is external equities, divided by shareholders funds, that is internal equities. This ratio is nothing but the proportion between external equities and internal equities, that is the ratio between long-term debt to shareholders fund. Okay, now what do you mean by long-term debt? Long-term debt equal to or includes debentures plus other long-term loans. Okay, whereas shareholders fund is equal to equity share capital plus preference share capital plus reserves and surplus minus goodwill and preliminary expenses. Okay, so the relationship between or the proportion between external equity to internal equity is nothing but debt equity ratio. Okay, a debt equity ratio of 2:1 is considered as ideal. That is, the interpretation will be like this: if the debt ratio is less than 2 times of equity, indicates that the financial structure of the concern is sound, which means the debt of the business organization should be less than 2 times of equity. Then only the financial structure of the concern is considered as sound, which means equity shareholders fund or equity capital should be more than, or the shareholders fund should be more than the debt of the business firm. Okay, on the other hand, if the debt is more than 2 times of equity, it indicates that the financial structure is weak. The business firm is more depending on the external equities than the own funds. Okay, so to consider the sound financial position, we should have more equity in capital and less debt in the capital structure. Okay. Next one is the second solvency ratio is proprietary ratio. Proprietary ratio is a variant of debt equity ratio. Okay, it is the ratio of proprietors funds, that is shareholders funds, to tangible assets, and the formula of proprietary ratio is equal to shareholders funds divided by total tangible assets. Okay, now you know how to find out shareholders fund. Here we have learned that is shareholders fund is equal to equity share capital plus preference share capital plus reserves and surplus minus goodwill and preliminary expenses. Okay, whereas total tangible assets equal to all assets minus goodwill and preliminary expenses, or else all assets minus intangible assets. You will get the amount of total tangible asset. So shareholders funds to total tangible assets is the ratio, or it's the proportion of proprietary ratio. Proprietary ratio is the proportion between shareholders funds to total tangible asset. Okay, and the last one, okay, before that, the standard proprietary ratio is 5:1 or 50%. Now how to interpret this ratio? Suppose if a ratio is high, it indicates strong in financial position. Okay, and if the ratio is low, it indicates weak in the financial position. Okay, next one is capital gearing ratio. Capital gearing ratio is mainly used to analyze the capital structure of a firm. The term capital gearing refers to the proportion between the fixed interest and dividend bearing funds to equity shareholders funds. This ratio establishes relationship between fixed interest and dividend bearing funds or securities and equity shareholders funds. The formula of capital gearing ratio is equal to fixed interest and dividend bearing funds divided by equity shareholders funds. Okay, now fixed interest and dividend bearing funds or securities are those securities on which the investors will get the fixed amount of interest and dividend on those securities. Okay, the example of fixed interest and dividend bearing funds are debentures plus long term loans and preference share capital. Irrespective of the profitability position of the business concern has to pay interest on debentures, interest on long term loans, as well as dividends to the preference share capital holders. Okay, and these securities are called as, or funds are called as, fixed interest and dividend bearing funds. Okay, whereas equity shareholders fund equal to equity share capital plus reserves and surplus minus goodwill and preliminary expenses. Okay, the ideal or standard ratio is 1:1, which means that there has to be a proportion between equal proportion between fixed interest and dividend bearing funds to equity shareholders fund, which means suppose if the total capital of the firm is 1 crore, then the capital of the firm should be split into 1:1 proportion, that is 50 lakh from through the equity shareholders or equity share capital, another 50 lakh through the fixed interest and dividend bearing funds. So this should be this will be considered as the ideal capital structure or ideal capital gearing ratio. That is, there has to be equal proportion between equity share capital or equity share funds to fixed interest and dividend bearing funds. Okay. Now how to write the interpretation for capital gearing ratio? Suppose if the capital gearing ratio is more than 1, it is called as high ratio or highly geared, which means that the firm has raised more amount of capital through the fixed interest and dividend bearing funds. Okay, so suppose, and if the firm's capital is high ratio or highly geared, the interpretation will be like this. If capital gearing ratio is high, it is attractive proportion to the investors. It shows that the major share of the total capital is in the form of fixed interest bearing securities. Okay, and as I said, if the ratio is more than 1, it is to be highly geared. Now the question is how it is good to the investor. Now see here, if there is more proportion of capital is raised through fixed interest and dividend bearing securities, which means that more number of investors will be getting fixed amount of interest and dividends. Okay, and if the equity shareholders are less, which means that more amount of capital will be given to the less number of equity shareholders. Okay, so both investors will be in the safer side, or it will be benefit to investor, all the investors of the business concern. Next one is low ratio or low geared. Now when the firm will be low geared, if capital gearing ratio is low, it is no attractive proportion, or it is not, here is a spelling mistake, it is not attractive proportion, one second, if capital gearing ratio is low, it is not attractive proportion to the investors. If the ratio is less than 1, then it is said to be low geared, and in such cases fixed interest bearing securities are less in total capital, that is less than equity capital. Okay, and there will be like a situation where there will be more number of equity shareholders, and if there will be more number of equity shareholders, they will get the less amount of dividend. Okay, so this is the situation when there will be low geared capital structure. Okay, and suppose if there is evenly geared, now when the firm will be considered as evenly geared, when the ratio is exactly 1. If this ratio is exactly 1, that is fixed interest and dividend bearing funds is equal to equity shareholders fund, then it is said to be evenly geared. Okay, so these are the three ratios which will help us to find out the capital, the solvency position of the business firm. Okay, so with the help of these ratios, we can find out what is the solvency position of the business concern, and even this will be used mainly for the investors. Okay, long-term financiers will be more concerned about the solvency position. Either it may be equity shareholders or debt financier are more what we can say interested with the long term financial position of the business concern. How well the firm is like solvent, or solvency position is sound for a long period of time, that this okay, the equity shareholders will be more interested to know this. Okay, so with the help of these ratios, as I said, there are three ratios of solvency. In solvency ratios we are going to study in this unit. First one is debt equity ratio. Formula of debt equity ratio is long term debt, that is external equities, divided by shareholders funds, that is internal equities. Okay, external equities include debentures plus other long term loans, whereas internal equities are nothing but shareholders fund. Okay, or own fund. Internal equity is equal to equity share capital plus preference share capital plus reserves and surplus minus goodwill and preliminary expenses, that is fictitious asset. Okay, the ideal debt equity ratio is 2:1. Second one is proprietary ratio. The formula of proprietary ratio is equal to shareholders fund divided by total tangible assets. Okay, shareholders fund, we know the formula how to find out shareholders fund, whereas total tangible assets is equal to all assets minus goodwill and preliminary expenses, that is intangible assets. Okay, next one, the standard proprietary ratio is 5:1 or 50%. Okay, and the last one is capital gearing ratio. The formula of capital gearing ratio is fixed interest and dividend bearing funds divided by equity shareholders funds. Okay, fixed interest and dividend bearing funds includes debentures, long term loans and preferential capital. Fixed interest and dividend bearing funds means irrespective of the profitability position of the business concerned, these securities will get fixed amount of interest and dividend on their investment. Okay, whereas equity shareholders fund is equal to equity share capital plus reserves and surplus minus goodwill and preliminary expenses. The standard or the ideal capital gearing ratio is 1:1. Okay, in the next class we will be solving problems on solvency ratios. Okay, thank you.